One, two, three. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good.
this. Ready to go? Okay. Got some more coming in. Ready? Okay. Okay. Is this on? Mike? Okay. Hi. Welcome. It's good to have everyone here. Great turnout. Thank you so much. What a great illustration of Atlanta's desire to host the world's largest and most passionate sporting event, and to have a great turnout from our media. So thank you all for coming out today and for welcoming our special guests from FIFA, Victor Montagliani, CONCACAF President and FIFA Vice President, as well as Colin Smith, Chief Tournaments and Events Officer for FIFA. Before we hand off to them, I want to give a special thanks to our partners at A&B Sports and Entertainment, the Atlanta United and Mercedes-Benz Stadium, for hosting us today in a first-class way. Great to have Steve Cannon, Darren Eels, and Dietmar Exler here today joining us as special guests. They'll be available to you to speak with you after we are done up here. So before I hand off to Victor and Colin for their remarks, I just want to give a little background as to our road in this journey to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup and the background to this site visit. Our journey began as a community back in 2017. And so as we continue down this process to host the world's largest sporting event here, we very look forward to the opportunity of engaging our community with the FIFA delegation as we've begun so today. This is an event that we really want to add to our long history of hosting major sporting events here. And we look forward to that opportunity as we continue throughout the day. We've hit the halfway point. We've had a good productive day so far. We just got done talking about our hosting capabilities and our history and ways that we will embrace the event, and now look forward to touring some of the world-class venues that we offer in this stadium, training facilities, and FanFest locations. We believe, because of what Atlanta United have done to turn Georgia into a soccer state, and the ability that we have to really welcome in an organized way and provide a ready-to-host community to FIFA, that will provide their teams, the fans, and the media for the event an unforgettable experience. And we hope that Victor and Colin, when you go back and move on to the next city, you'll look back at Atlanta as a partner and ready to work with you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Victor for his comments. Victor?
Thanks, Dan. Good morning to Atlanta. Good morning to you all. It's a real pleasure being back in Atlanta, back in this beautiful stadium. And obviously, we know that Atlanta has now become a real football city, as in the real football that is played globally. I see Darren smiling there. But I think it's a testament, I think, to the commitment by Arthur Blank and his family to my sport, in terms of what really has been done here in the city for the sport of soccer. Obviously, we're here to do our due diligence with respect to the candidacy of Atlanta as a city, obviously as a stadium. We know the stadium has held many events in the past, and I was actually fortunate enough to be here for the Super Bowl. And so I know we all know what the capabilities are, but I think we still, Colin and his team, Colin is leading our team with respect to doing that due diligence. But, I think from an Atlanta standpoint, I think you have a great team that's putting their best foot forward in terms of making sure that Atlanta has the best opportunity to host, to be one of the host cities for 2026. And we're really glad to be here and really thank everyone for their hospitality. Thank you.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Great to be back here. It's actually 4 years since we were here, prior to actually the selection of US, Canada, Mexico as hosts of the 26 World Cup. So it's great to be back. Obviously, we would have hoped to have been here sooner than now, but we had to delay our plans due to COVID. And I'd like to thank Dan and the team for all the hard work. And we've had many workshops and meetings via Zoom. And so it's great to actually be here in person and to sit around the table and discuss the plans that Atlanta has and how the World Cup would benefit Atlanta and how Atlanta could host matches here. So what we're looking at when we come is really all areas of tournament organization, be it obviously the magnificent stadium here, also transport links, sustainability, city infrastructure, accommodation, training sites. So basically we look at all the different areas that are important to each of our stakeholders to ensure that everyone has that magical experience at the World Cup, whether you're a player, whether you're a broadcaster, media, sponsor, guest, fans. That's what we're here to do. So we have 6 more stops on this tour. And we have another tour in October and one in November, and then that would complete the sites, with hopefully finalizing the selection of the cities beginning of next year. So thanks again. It's great to be here.
All right, with that, we'll open it to questions. If you'll raise your hand, we'll get you a microphone. Please please identify yourself with your outlet and let us know who your question is directed toward. We'll start with Doug over here.
Doug Robertson, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It's nice to see you and hope you're well. From what you've seen so far from your research and your in-person sites, what differentiates Atlanta from some of the previous sites that you've already seen or have done your research on?
Yeah, look, I think, you know, what's great about the World Cup is, and all the host cities of a World Cup, they're all unique. So every city brings hosting the World Cup. And that's what we look at. So Atlanta, you know, a long history of events, fantastic stadium here, obviously, and we'll discuss that more in the afternoon. We need to transform the pitch surface from the artificial into a absolute world-class grass turf pitch, which can live in the environment of a closed or semi-closed, if the roof's open, environment for a long period of time. So each city, that's what we're doing. We're gathering the information. We're looking at the FanFest locations, looking at the accommodation, looking at the transport links, looking at the stadium, and then we'll put all that together and work out the jigsaw puzzle of what's the best mix of venues then to host the final tournament.
Thank you. Dave Huddleston from WSB TV. Again, welcome here. Because you have to switch out the grass or the turf to grass, how much of a concern is that for you all? And Dan, if you can also talk to the economic impact of something like this to our economy and to the city of Atlanta.
So switching out the turf is not a concern. There's lots of technology that exists these days. We just need to get it right, and we have experts on our side. And we're working with multiple third-party companies and consultants as well. And obviously we'll share all that knowledge with Atlanta as well in terms of coming up with the best plan forward. So that's not a concern. Technology is there. Capability is there. It just needs the proper planning, care, and timeline to do it properly.
Hi, Dave. Just to answer your question on the impact. So we're looking at it both economically and from the community standpoint. We have not done any projections on it because we haven't hosted the event in the past, but there are studies out there that show it's several $100 million as a projection. It all really depends on the number of matches that a city hosts. If you take, for example, the Super Bowl, which was a 10-day event period, that was several $100 million for one event. The FIFA World Cup is 30-plus days as an event period with multiple matches. So it's certainly, we think, north of that. We don't know the exact number yet because we haven't hosted it. We will do a study. If we are granted the right to host it, we'll do a study during the event and then come up with that at some point in time following the event. But I can tell you it's significant when you have a global event for a long period of time with visitors from all over the world. And then you also have the legacy and the community impact of things that maybe we are able to create in the community that go beyond just economics. Thank you.
Over here to Paul.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul Newberry from Associated Press for whoever wants to answer. With Montreal dropping out, is it safe to assume now that 11 U.S. cities are now in the mix out of the 17 finalists? Is that where things stand?
Guess the Canadians got to answer that one, right? I can answer it in French too if you want, since you're talking about Montreal. No, When there was an MOU signed when we did the bid, and I was obviously part of the bid. And now, after we won the bid, I got traded back to FIFA, and now I'm on this side. But there's never a stipulation of exactly how many we're going to have in each country. And the unique thing about the United bid, it's also going to be a United World Cup. So it's not a U.S. only, Canada only, and Mexico only. It is actually a United World Cup with cities that are going to be venues for games. And so, that's going to be part of our due diligence as well, in terms of, where the city's going to be, how many there are going to be. So it's not written in stone that, so many are going to get 2 or 3, and these ones are going to get 10 or 11. So, at the end of the day, we're going to make the best decision for the World Cup itself, whatever that number may be.
Hey, gentlemen. I think one's for Colin. Eric Jackson, Atlanta Business Chronicle, by the way. Colin, how has your conceptual understanding of the city just changed, actually being here in person instead of, Zoom and everything else?
I think it's just reinforced the compact footprint, especially around the stadium, with the locations next to the stadium, obviously convention center as well. And so, Dan and the team took us through that this morning. We could see it from our hotel. Actually, from our hotel, we could see it, and then coming to the stadium, we can see it. So I think it's reinforced that the central area, what Atlanta provides, is very compact, and that's obviously something which is very interesting for fans and people coming to the stadium, congregating around the stadium for matches.
Good afternoon, Felipe Cardenas with The Athletic. This is for Victor. Actually, if you want to answer as well, Colin. Is Atlanta actually bidding for specific matches? And at what point does that become part of the process? Is there a possibility if Atlanta becomes a host city, could they eventually host perhaps a World Cup semifinal? When is that part determined?
Yeah, no, the bid is not for any specific games. And so what happens is we will first, as part of the process, when we get to the part of selecting, you go from a candidate city to now becoming an official host city. There's also another group that is actually not here with us that is working on a match schedule at FIFA. Once we have the match schedule, then that all gets put together, and then that's when we decide on those games. All right.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Claire Sims with Fox 5. Obviously, this is something that we in Atlanta haven't done before. So would you guys mind just kind of pitching Atlanta on why we should want to host a World Cup? I mean, obviously, we all in this room understand the importance, but this is an international event.
Yeah, I think the best story I can give you for that is I was speaking to an NFL owner who will remain nameless. It wasn't Arthur, by the way. And I was talking to him about the Super Bowl, and I said, how many people watch a Super Bowl? And he says, about 100 million globally, or 100 and a bit. So that's great. I said, when we have the draw for the World Cup, which is ping pong balls in a glass bowl, and some, legend of the game pulling it out and saying USA versus Poland in Group A, that's about 2 to 3 times the Super Bowl. So that's just to pull balls out of a glass bowl. So that's not even the games or the World Cup. So, from a worldwide event, and you're talking about the United States of America, which is a world leader in many, many ways. Atlanta being a major city in the United States, I'm not sure how else to answer that question. I think it answers itself, quite honestly.
All right, due to our schedule today, we're going to cut the question and answers off right now. We are going to take a moment and do a photo op on the stage real quick, and then we'll have some opportunity for some one-on-ones afterwards. Yep. Anyone interested with one-on-ones with either Darren Ills or Steve Cannon, we'll make those available at this time.